Save me, save me, save me. Save me.
I really think that this is a great start for introducing the community to the conversation of race. I know this is something that through the years, even now in 2014, it's still something that's a bit uncomfortable to discuss, you know, being that we have such this is such a polarizing issue for a lot of people, no matter where you are in the States and even out of the States. But I think this is something that needs to be done, especially in the wake of everything that's been happening these past couple years.
Race is not usually something that's like really talked about around like people that I know, and like if it is, you only really get to see like the black male viewpoint.
The Back of the Bus show, I think it's rather interesting. You know, it tackles one of the main concerns that I've dealt with just in my life. You know,
it's very relevant to what's happening right now, and it really makes you think about what's going on.
I walked into the lunchroom like I was walking in just to eat. You were strategically placed on either side, was nowhere to find a seat. You were all lined up by color and huddled up with your own kind. All the teachers act like they didn't notice, so you're so afraid. You probably think this song ain't about you, you're so afraid. You probably think this song ain't about you, don't you, don't you?
Does everyone know what bus they're riding? This here's Miss Ruthie's bus, Ruth Ann Mesa Hicks. Miss Ruthie was born in 1941 in Rouville, Mississippi, and every day she rode the bus to work. She says back then there was a section for coloreds and a section for whites, so Miss Ruthie had to sit in the colored section, in the back of the bus. And if the white section got full and another white person got on, Miss Ruthie had to give up her seat, no matter how tired she was, no matter how much her feet hurt.
I think it has a really good message. I really like it. It's different, and it's interesting that it's not something most people have seen before because it's original.
Well, Miss Ruthie says this is the bus. Not the one Rosa Parks sat on, but the one that Claudette Colvin wouldn't give up her seat before Rosa Parks did it, when she was just 15 years old. And the cops beat her up real bad. Of course, it was Miss Rosa Parks who started all the fuss down there in Montgomery. Miss Ruthie always said it was awful brave of Claudette to sit down for what she believed in like that. She says she doesn't know about young people today, when Claudette and Rosa risked everything just to mix up a bus. See, when Miss Ruthie was coming up, people had to separate, because it was the law. Now, we're doing it on our own, almost as if the laws never changed. Miss Ruthie doesn't think that we hate each other. That's not the problem. Miss Ruthie thinks we're all just scared of each other. And she says the worst part is, no one seems to think there's anything wrong.
Our ancestors died for the right to vote.
And until Obama came along, we didn't vote.
Our ancestors died so we wouldn't have to sit in the back of the bus. And we sit in the back of the bus. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Guess what? The people from the Oprah show called my mom. Guess what?
The
people from the Oprah show called your mom.
My experience is how it is so serious about what we're doing, and how it's not like a school play. And so I am hoping to learn about professionalism and hopefully doing that, moving that experience into my future.
Gave them my name. They said they wanted a panel of wiggers. They asked me, how do I dress? How do I dress? You know, they said, oh, your pantry size is too big. Well, I didn't make the panel. My mom said it was okay, though. She said it's nice to be recognized for something. Knocking it on the Oprah show made me think, though. Like, you know how a Muslim prisoner asked Malcolm X in that movie if he had ever known a good white person. He thinks about it, and he hasn't. Knocking it on the Oprah show made me wonder if Malcolm X's answer would have been any different if he'd known me. If I met Malcolm X, I would have tried to tell him about riding a bike. White people ride a bike with the wind so favorable at our backs that we don't even notice our advantage. It's difficult for us to even imagine what it must be like. How it must change everything to be born biking into a headwind. We've become so accustomed to having the wind at our backs, so spoiled by our good fortune, that we see it as a great injustice if the wind should subside or switch directions or blow even for a minute any other way. Anyway, knocking it on the Oprah show made me remember that one day in elementary school when I made my discovery. Michael Jackson, Mary J. Blige, Rihanna, Beyonce, and all the other singers I stood around admiring in the CD store display windows were black, which made me flash on all my sports heroes being black, which made me flash on all the wittiest, the coolest, the strongest, the most agile, and most precocious kids I knew were black. In part, this was because most of the white kids I knew were usually dull and spoiled. But next to the black kids, my voice was flat, my personality dull, my lifestyle bland, and my complexion pallid. I never knew that race was the national obsession. I thought I discovered my own private secret.
No matter what race, no matter where you're from, everybody can go through the same issues.
Check this out. You know, I've been working on my college applications, doing fine until I get to the same question that is on every single one of them. Race, optional. Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, or other. Please specify. Of course, you can always choose to leave it blank, but everyone knows what that means. Why is a cake of Swan soap in a blizzard? Last one I did, I checked other. Please specify. And under race, I wrote runner-up, New York State 100-meter dash. Guess I'm not getting in there. But how am I supposed to get in anywhere? The deck is stacked anyway. I heard even SAT scores get looked at with a little more, shall we say, understanding if you're a racial minority. And when for a second I stopped panicking about getting into college and started panicking about paying for college, all the scholarship applications had the same question on them. Race, optional. Even the one from the National Runners Association. And don't even get me started on the really big scholarships. The ones for everyone but the poor little white boy. Like a water fountain from the 50s, they might as well have a big headline that says coloreds only. It's just so unfair. I work hard, I stay on track, and I have never broken a major rule. Or never gotten caught anyway, which is the same thing. I bet if I was black, I could get in anywhere I want and have it all paid for. And if I didn't, I'd just play the race card and they'd have to take me anyway. Hey, don't look at me like that. It's not like I'm a racist. I'm fine with equal opportunity. I just want my fair share.
I really think that this is a great start for introducing the community to the conversation of race. I know this is something that through the years, even now in 2014, it's still something that's a bit uncomfortable to discuss, being that we have such this is such a polarizing issue for a lot of people, no matter where you are in the States and even out of the States. But I think this is something that needs to be done, especially in the wake of everything that's been happening these past couple years.
What? You think I like it? I worked as hard to get where I am as anyone else. Harder than you. You think I like wondering, not knowing if I'd have done as well if no one knew I was black and needed an extra hand? The thing is, I don't need an extra hand, but every time I fill out an application, I get uncomfortable. See, if I don't tell them I'm black, I feel like I'm acting ashamed of something I'm actually proud of, but if I do put it, then what? Do I get a spot over somebody who deserves it more just because I'm black? Or is that just what everyone is going to assume, no matter how well I do? Look, I know they mean well with their policies. I know they're just trying to make things more equal, but the whole thing just makes me feel degraded. Like white folks are giving us a hand because they think we're not good enough or smart enough to make it on our own. I don't want anybody's handout. I don't need it. I don't want to get into some school just because they want to fill some quota or have some numbers to show to the board of trustees. And the thing is, deep down, I know that if I do get in, it won't be because of that. Or at least it shouldn't. No, I'm smart enough, I work hard enough, I deserve it all on my own, but people don't see it that way. I can see white students thinking it. I can hear people whispering it. You know why she's here, don't you? When that's just it. They don't know. And neither do I.
The media unit's Rough Times Live is partially funded by Open Atelier Architects.
Hey, do you know there's a TV studio right here in downtown Syracuse? Well, there is, and it's free to use. You just have to know where to find it. And here it is, the Time Warner Cable Public Access Studio on 500 South Salinas Street. Come on, let's take a look. Now behind this door is a studio. And here it is, a fully operational TV studio with camera, lights, intercom, and storage space for sets, everything you need to make television. Now let's see the control room. It's through this door. Here's the audio board, the video switcher, monitors, and all the technologies and electronics that you need to make your show. So, are you interested? Basically told me I could get a job, you know, running camera, and it pretty much went from there.
Cool.
What is it like working and performing at the media unit?
It's a great experience. I've never had anything like it before, and I probably won't again. And it's hard work. It's hard work, but overall it's a great experience, and I've enjoyed all of it.
The media unit's Rough Times Live is partially funded by Accents of Armory Square.
I walked into the lunchroom like I was walking in just to eat. You were strategically placed on either side, was nowhere to find a seat. You were all lined up by cover and huddled up with your own kind. All the teachers act like they didn't notice, so you're so afraid. You probably think this song ain't about you, you're so afraid. You probably think this song ain't about you, don't you, don't you? It happened several years ago when I was quite naive.
This issue, the issue of race, doesn't have to always be such a, deathly, like hazard zone type of a topic. That this is something that not only needs to be discussed, but it's not that hard to introduce it. Once you start talking, it'll get easier, and you can work those things out. Not saying it's going to be, a walk in the park, but we all need to listen to each other and work this through.
Today, I'll be a white boy.
And I'll be a white girl. I'll retroactively wake myself up and lo and behold, a white girl
A white boy.
in my bed.
I gotta call a white boy for some more accurate information.
I wonder what's the first thing a white girl thinks in the morning.
Put me on hold.
Do they wake up being glad they ain't purple?
I know. The first thing a white boy does is he gets up, looks in the mirror, and says, "You are a god."
Do they remember, Mama? Do they worry about getting to work? Do
they
they work?
work?
I know. The first thing a white girl does in the morning is fling her hair. There, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to water my plants.
I know the first thing a black girl does in the morning. She gets up, looks in the mirror, and says, "Is my weave okay?"
But what kind of white boy am I? Am I an extra gnarly surfer dude who hits every wave along the coast? Or am I a straight line politician? Nope, not gonna do it. Would it be prudent at this juncture? Or am I a hero type cowboy? Don't worry, little lady. We could ride off into the sunset.
Am I a poor white girl with an old jelly jar? Or am I a sophisticated Protestant suburbanite with 2 Valiums slugged already and a water carrier leading me up the stairs strewn with heads of dolls and nasty white husband person's underwear?
I know what kind of black girl I am. I'm a ghetto fabulous black girl, 2 snaps in a circle saying, "Girl, no you didn't."
They put me on hold again. But I need to know, do they cruise the Caribbean in their fancy yachts, sipping Dom Perignon and playing shuffleboard with Skip, Biff, and
Muffy? Or do they play Isadora and wrap themselves in white sheets and go tiptoeing down to the kitchen to make
Maxwell House coffee?
I'll go down to the kitchen in my old school, just make some fried chicken and Kool-Aid.
A typical white boy day would go something like this. Early breakfast, morning facts at the office, power lunch, and cellular phone calls all the way home where I kick off my loafers and flip on CNN to check the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
On my way through the city, I'd smile at all of the black and Puerto Rican people, hoping they can't tell I wish they'd go back to where they came from.
I know they don't belong here.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I wonder why that colored lady hasn't arrived to clean my house yet. I also wonder why God gave them such clear complexions and why it takes them so long to develop.
Wrinkles.
But I don't have to worry about it. I'll just sit here and fling my hair because I'm a white girl and I don't know much of anything.
And I'm a black girl and y'all can't tell me nothing.
And I'm a white boy, and I know everything, but I still need to call another white boy for some more accurate information.
And I need to call a white girl.
Wait, what do you mean you need more accurate information about a white girl? Why didn't you get more accurate information about a black girl?
Because I already have enough accurate information about myself.
Well, what are you, prejudiced or something?
Hey, it was just a role we were playing.
Well, you don't see me trying to act black.
You heard her,
To
right?
tell you the truth, I don't think you could act much of anything.
Alright. Yo, what's up? Alright. Yo, what's good?
What's good?
Today, I'll be a black girl.
Oh yeah? What kind of black girl?
Like Martina Luther King.
Who? Oh, you mean Martin Luther King, the civil rights leader who won the Nobel Peace Prize. The man who said, I have a dream.
That was then. This is now.
Martina who?
Martin Luther King.
Who?
The civil rights leader.
Oh,
what does he have nothing to do with it?
He's not a cop.
Oh, he's cool, man.
The Nobel Peace Prize winner?
Oh, you mean the boxer? Yeah, I saw him on TV last night. He was knocking out
He's
that guy.
not a boxer.
Oh, well, I don't know
Never
him.
heard of him.
The man who said, I have a dream.
Oh, you had that dream too, the one where you're running and you can't seem to get anywhere. It's like you're moving in slow.
Any day now.
Motion?
Well, this show is different for a number of reasons. This show has a message. This show is completely original. It's not like we're doing Grease or Young Frankenstein or anything like that. It's a show that media unit members wrote way back, and it's an original piece. Like, not very many places put on original shows. So I think that's what makes Media Unit really unique, is the fact that we put on unique shows with a message directed towards youth.
No, come on. You gotta wake up.
Wake up, wake up. You've got the power. You've got my people in the East, so you gotta wake up. Midwest, 30 South, so you gotta stand up. All my homies in the West, so you gotta wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, all that poverty. Wake up, all teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. 'Cause they're the ones who's coming up. The world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the best you can. Peace, do we mean it? Can you feel it when we scream it out loud? Do you believe that we need it? Do you believe that it can get right? Do you believe that the children of the world deserve a good life? Well, if you do, it's time to wake up your mind. We can make it better, and I know it might take some time, but we gotta start somewhere. How about with you and me? From us it goes to others, then we'll have our unity.
All the doctors make the old people well. They're the ones ones who suffer, catch all the hell. They don't have so very long before the judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up, 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 wake up.
Yeah, we all best to vote. I don't care about the guns you told. Listen to me like you listen to Fahrenheit 9/11. Ain't no time for the second guess. The words I speak, wake up. The ones who sleep, the leadership's fiction mouth to teach. Teach the kids with peace. They don't have to worry about the police. We make them rich so they don't have to thief. Every artist here on this track. We'll make a change here for young cats. This is for everybody, white or black. You better go and vote and get up off your back.
The Media Unit's Rough Times Lives, partially funded by LoFo Love Food.
The Back of the Bus is an award-winning show, won an award from the NAACP. So our cast right now for The Back of the Bus is just so on point. They're really taking a good hold of the script. And I really hope to develop even further with them their character development and their script analysis.
When I was little, the Lone Ranger was my hero. He had a horse and he went around righting wrongs and punishing injustice. And I wanted to be like that. And it looked so easy because you could always tell the good guys from the bad guys from the color of their hats. White for good and black for bad. Simple, right? But I don't know. None of the guys in my neighborhood ever wore cowboy hats, and even if we did, I'm not sure what color I would get. Anyway, nobody I knew had a horse, and in my neighborhood, you didn't wear a mask unless you wanted to get picked up by the cops. I couldn't be the Lone Ranger, and then I learned that Tonto meant stupid. I didn't want to be the Lone Ranger anymore. But then there was Cosby. He had it made. He had more stuff in his living room than there was on my entire block. And his wife was always out shopping. They were always getting more stuff. And he really looked out for his kids. They would play tricks on him and get away with it. And he would say stuff like, I brought you into this world and I could bring you out. But he was just saying that though. But then I began to look at all that stuff, and there was just way too much of it. And I told everybody at school that I was going to be a doctor, just like Bill Cosby. And they laughed. Honestly, we're not as different as we originally believed, like blacks, whites, Hispanics, Jamaicans, all that. We're not as different as we originally thought. We all have a lot of things in common. Like the color of your skin or where you came from doesn't make you much different than the person who looks absolutely nothing like you. We're all the same.